Welcome. Thank you for stopping by. My name is Lydia and welcome to my channel where you don't have to start rich to become financially free. You know, when people think budgeting, they think of like boring and poor, but that's not necessarily the case. It's just a matter of being in control of your finances, and that's sort of what freedom is about, is like self-determination. And when you have a budget and you have self-determination in your finances, this is the difference between being free in your finances and being broke. Anyways, this episode is brought to you by Crypto.com, the best place in the world to buy and use crypto in real life. You can also get real world rewards such as free Netflix and free Spotify. So go check it out using the QR code on the screen or the link in the description. We'll both get $25 in free CRO token, and it helps this channel grow. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. It's that time of year again where many people are off to go buy Christmas presents, and they're looking at their budget and wondering how much money they actually have to spend on not just themselves. So jokes aside, this is one reason why today is more relevant than ever to talk about budgeting. So I have made a free template for you guys here, but you can just scan the QR code on the screen and go directly to the budget yourself. You can make your own copy, download it to your computer, and play with it however you want. This is a tool for you to make a budget that's going to make your life more successful, because when you have a plan, you're more likely to succeed. And it's the same thing with your monthly spending, because sometimes we have leaks and, you know, little habits that sort of drain our bank accounts. So with that being said, let's take a look at the instructions tab that I made, and we'll start at step 1, which is enter your income and expenses and savings and all of that good stuff in the designated spaces. So we'll come over here and take a look at what I wrote. And I actually made this for a couple, and this monthly income of $5,000 is basically, it's probably a educated married couple in their 30s, both working full-time, making $5,000 a month. Now, this situation is definitely not the situation for most people, especially people who are single. Even people who are single, educated, and highly successful, your budget can be much different. And so that's why I made this very easy to change and adapt to your personal situation, because the graphs will automatically update. And in step 2, you can see it's not really much of a step. You just kind of let the charts tell you and guide you where you need to be, following the goals below. So depending on what numbers you come up with, let's just pretend that we're single, okay? And now we have this same budget. Look how much it changes. The cash balance is in the negative, everything's in the red, and this other person here is key to balancing that budget. But I made a list of sample expenses and how much you can expect, especially if you're in the US. You probably live and you do own a home. You might have to pay HOA fees, and you know, not all states and not all cities are the same. So when you're going through this, really be careful to count up your expenses in a general way, and everything that is essential goes into your expenses. I wouldn't consider, you know, getting your nails done or your hair done to be an essential expense. Well, okay, maybe getting your hair done is an essential expense, and I think we all found that out during Corona time when the hair shops were closed and everybody was freaking out just for a haircut. So I digress. Keep track of all of your utility bills in general. You know, maybe you can average out the cost throughout the year, the cost of the trash, water, and really count up all your expenses. That when their budget is balanced, they do have cash at the end of the month. Their total expenses are either 50% or less, ideally, on basic living. And the reason this is called Thrive budgeting is because you don't want to spend all of your money just trying to survive. It's referencing Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You want to be thriving. And how do you become thriving? It's like you go above your basic essential needs, which are the groceries, the house, the electricity, the car, now, cash savings is a really important thing to talk about. I also put this extra column here for a weekly automatic transfer, so that you can just set it up in your bank based on 10% of your monthly income. So this should automatically calculate by 10. So once you put in your total monthly income, it should tell you how much you should be saving every single month, and also how much you should be keeping towards fun. Because part of thriving is having fun. So often people with money don't have the time to enjoy it, and so often the people without the money have all the time. So in this budget, the idea is to use the money you have with the time you've got to plan on actually enjoying your life, such as long-term and short-term fun. And short-term fun are things like going to the bar with your friends, going to see a show, going on a date with your significant other. And then long-term fun is you put maybe a little bit aside every month, and then every 3 to 6 months or once a year, you take that money and you spend it on a nice vacation for you and your family, or you and a friend, or just go spoil yourself. That's sort of to make it so you have something fun to do in the short term, and you're making sure you set money aside to actually enjoy yourself, but also make sure you have things to look forward to in the future. Those are those big life-changing vacations that really leave good, long-lasting memories in your life, because most people work to earn money to live, and then by the end of the work, they have no more money to live. Because we're just spending it on so many things that maybe don't give us experiences that are truly memorable and enjoyable and valuable in our life, which is why in this budget plan, there's going to be an automatic calculation that will show you how much you should be saving every single month so that you can go on vacation, go out with your friends, and still have some money set aside for investments, taxes, charity, all of that stuff done for you automatically. And it's free. If you find this information helpful, please feel free to share it with your friends and family. You know, that's what this is here for, is to be used. If you are a W-2 employee, you will not need to put money aside for your taxes for the most part. However, if you're an independent contractor, you may need to, which is why I have left this set aside as blank. Or, you know, I'll put 5% just in case. Let's see how that affects the graph. Everything's fine. In the case of this family, they're going to spend about $500 a month on things such as going to the movies and going out to eat, and then saving $500 a month for a vacation later that year, such as paying for the plane tickets and paying for the hotel. And that way they can use the short-term money when they're on the actual vacation for things like restaurants and going out and shopping. And I'm making more videos on planning trips to places like Dubai and Italy, and how easy it is to really plan the time of your life on a budget. You don't have to be rich to be financially free. That's what this channel is all about. Okay, so I made all of that automatic. Of course, the things in your expenses will not automatically populate. You are going to be responsible for making your expenses not exceed 50% of your income. And that is the challenge of using this budget template, is to find out where are you spending more money than you need to be spending, or that you should be spending in your expenses. You don't need 5 keyboards, okay? You know, the guys can be just as bad as the ladies when it comes to buying things they don't need. So let's go back to the goals and instructions here. I already talked about that your basic expenses should not exceed 50% of your monthly income, but I also want to give you a pro tip, which is that your mortgage should not exceed 33% of your monthly income. Let me say that again. Your mortgage should not exceed more than 33% of your monthly income. And why is that? Because you don't want to spend more than 50% on basic needs, and you usually need that cushion for your groceries and other bills, such as having a car and gas or public transport or whatever it is else that you need to spend money on essentially. I added charity into the section of savings because charity is something that you do for yourself, but also give back to society. And in many countries, you can write off charitable donations on your taxes to reduce your taxable income. And I just think it's something that's an essential part of your financial planning, is to be able to give back to society. You know, we always tend to want to buy things for ourselves or our friends and our family, but actually think about the causes that you care about and make a list of what you would want to donate to, and then just start maybe picking some charities that you like. And even if it's as small as $10, it will feel good to support a cause that you truly believe in. And that's why I put this on the budget and I put it next to savings and investments, because I think it ranks right up there on top of what matters most when it comes to managing your money. And last but not least is allocating money to education and personal development. I put charity here again as well. You kind of have some room to consider your charity as also going to education, or if you're really trying to make your way up in the world and you really don't have enough to give to even like $10 to a charity, you should spend that on developing yourself. Enroll in a class, enroll in a course, get a certification, go to a networking luncheon or networking Zoom event or something to meet other people, improve yourself, and thus improve your ability to give back in the world. Because when we invest in ourselves and our own education, or maybe even setting aside money for the education of our children, this is akin to giving back to society. By improving ourselves and improving our ability to give to the world, we are also giving to the world around us through improving ourselves. I hope I've made that point very clear, which is why, depending on your budget, charity, education, or savings and investments can be somewhat interchangeable. Point is being able to diversify the income you have in such a way that 50% of your income is being spent on your basic living, and then the other 50% is being spent on enjoying your life, such as going out, having fun, but then also giving back, improving yourself, improving your career, and giving to charity. And in another video that I just made talking about protecting yourself from inflation, when you reach a certain maximum in your savings account, you should definitely start looking into hedging against inflation. You should always put aside money for savings and investments, but you need to be careful how you diversify those investments. And over time, even if you've set automatic payments for something, you probably will need to adjust your automatic payment settings based on how much money has accumulated in your different accounts. Budgeting is key to financial freedom and taking control of our financial future. Thank you so much for watching this video today. I hope you learned something about budgeting, and even if you know how to budget already, I hope this refreshed your memory or inspired you to download this template and redo your budget right in time before the holiday season, or maybe even look at how to rebalance your current spending and your current savings plan in order to adjust for inflation. If you want to learn more, there's videos that I made recently about how to protect yourself from inflation and how to properly diversify your. Thank you so much for watching today. If you learned something, let me know in the comments below. And if you already know how to budget and this refreshed your memory, awesome. Definitely download the template. I'll show you that QR code one more time, or use the link in the description. Like, share, subscribe, and have a great holiday, everybody. I'll see you in the next video.